Assalamu alaikum. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra. I am preacher of Quran Sharif, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Holy Bible, Jain Avastha, Kalpa Sutra. There's all the religious book. I am trying to compare for Hindu-Muslim unity, for removing all kind of misunderstanding about Islam, all kind of misunderstanding about Quran, all kind of misunderstanding about Srimad Bhagavad Gita and other religious book. I'm trying to strengthen the Hindu Muslim unity and also religious unity. So this lecture is very important. I'm going to talk about halal and haram. What kind of foods are permitted and what kind of foods are forbidden. So here, even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stated about the demonic people, what kind of foods are very dear to the people who are actually having an evil nature, and what kind of people who are having who are which what kind of means what kind of food is very dear to those people who are actually having a divine nature. So on the basis of the rajas, tamas, and sattva gunas, people would have a different kind of foods, a different kind of the choice. But before I start my lecture, I would like to talk about Quran and Sharif. I am having Quran and Sharif Al Quran. This is a most. This is not religious book. This is a pure book of the science and humanity. And I am trying to propagate a humanity on the basis of Quran and Sharif. I would consider Quran and Sharif as a pure book of the science. Many scientific theories are mentioned in Quran, Al Quran. So I would have to consider, and I would have to say we all have to follow Quran and Sharif, by which we can. It doesn't require whether we are Muslim or whether Hindu. It doesn't require. We just have required to understand what is Quran and what can we do for the society. Means after developing Hindu Muslim unity, after strengthening Hindu Muslim unity, we can only come to know we all are one. The God is only source. Allah Krishna, Allah Ram, Allah Vishnu, Allah Shiva, Allah Brahma. Allah is only name synonymous of the God. Allah is another word for a God in Arabic word. So let's talk about Allah means halal and haram. What is the difference between the halal and haram? Halal and haram, two Arabic words. They form an integrated part of how Muslim views all the aspect of life. How Muslim views all the aspect of life. The first we are going to talk about halal. Halal is Arabic word which means lawful or permissible. Halal is Arabic word, and which does means lawful and or permissible. It does not just refers to the things that Muslim is allowed to eat, but also encompasses everything lawful in a Muslim life. Nevertheless, it is most often uttered in a reference to the food. Halal is a concept. What kind of activities we have to do, what kind of thoughts we have to develop, what kind of conduct, what kind of activities we have to execute, we can only come to know by the words of halal and haram. Halal is a lawful things, halal activities, halal sexual activities, halal thoughts. So these all things are not only for a food, but also for all certain things, all kind of activities. Halal is a word for which is used for the daily activities. Haram is Arabic word which is opposite to halal, which means something is forbidden or unlawful for a Muslim to consume or used to do so. Halal and haram in the Quran, in the word of Allah, in the words of Allah, Allah's word, and the saying of Allah. O mankind, eat of that which is lawful and wholesome, and follow not footstep of the devil. He is your enemy. He is enemy of you. Devil is your enemy. So we don't have to blindly follow. Lord Krishna even stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, verse number 21, chapter number 2. Yada yada acharti sreshtah tada tada ivarto jana saita pramanam kuru lokasa tada anuvartate. Means whatever great men perform, common men follow on his footstep, and whatever criteria they have set, for an exemplary act, entire world will pursue. So we don't have to surrender unto the devil people. If we surrender unto the devil person or evil person, then we definitely make ourselves as a evil, because we have surrendered unto that particular devil person. So whatever thought he will inculcate in our mind, we will definitely get into. So we don't have to surrender unto the evil person. And halal and haram. In halal and haram, both are mentioned in Quran Sharif. Means, O Muhammad, what has been made lawful for them, so lawful for you all good foods, and all good food. Listen it very carefully. All good food, all hygienic food is all considered as a halal. And means what you have trained of hunting animals which you have trained as Allah has taught you, so eat what they catch for you, and mention the name of Allah upon it, and fear of Allah. Indeed, Allah is a swift in account. Whenever we are performing actually religious sacrifice, actually I want to talk about religious sacrifice, because many people who approach me and talk about why there is a religious sacrifice, why there is a slaughterhouse, why there is a religious sacrifice, why there is a hunting of animal in the Muslim religion. So Lord Krishna even talked about yajna, the religious sacrifice, about performance of the yajna. For in the Gita, Krishna teaches that know your life itself as a sacred yajna or sacrifice and activity. Sacred yajna and sacrifice your activities in life which bring about a social upliftment. Even Lord Krishna stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, you have to perform yajna for social upliftment. Social upliftment is required. So there is no difference between yajna. Religious sacrifice is to killing the innocent animal. This is also forbidden as per Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But yajna for the social upliftment is required. For yajna, it has allowed to kill animal in order to please. In many Hindu temples, they are actually sacrificing of the god and the animals. In the many Hindu temple, it has permitted as per Hindu textures, Hindu sculptures. So social upliftment is required. Social upliftment should be main cause for the religious sacrifice, and harmony in the society to serve the sort of sacrifice and yajna on your part. So yajna is permitted by Srimad Bhagavad Gita, by Lord Krishna. O messenger, eat from what is good and lawful. Here, Prophet Muhammad, Allah stated, eat only those food which are good and lawful, and act righteously. And indeed, I fully know what you do. In Quran Sharif, chapter number 21, verse number ayat number 51, it has mentioned, O messenger, O prophet, eat from what is good and lawful and hygienic, and act righteously. And indeed, I fully know what you do. What is halal meat? Halal meat. You might have wondered what is halal chicken. After all the chickens look and same. So what is that makes this chicken or beef or mutton halal or other not? What exactly is the difference between the halal and non-halal meat or haram meat? Means let's talk about halal meat. Halal is the flesh of the animal that has been slaughtered in the way prescribed by Quran. Allah has mentioned how to slaughter animal, how to cut the animal. Halal meat is the flesh of animal that has been slaughtered in the way of prescribed by Quran. And hadith, it is a method of called javiha, and this procedure was thought to Muslim as the best way to slaughter an animal in order to cause the least amount of the pain. Cause the least amount of the pain, halal. A few important criteria that must be followed in the order to slaughter the animal in the Islamic way. There are: the slaughter of the animal must be carried out by Muslim. The slaughter of the animal must be carried out by Muslim. The animal must not be dead. The animal must not be dead. We don't have to kill the dead animal. Animal for the slaughter must be grouped together and allowed to watch the slaughter of other animals and they herd. As the These all things are mentioned in these particular things. So animal for the slaughter must not be grouped. All the animal must not be grouped together and allowed to watch the slaughter of the other animals. As the most things a Muslim do, it must begin with the utterance of Bismillah, which means the name of Allah. The animal must be slaughtered with a precise cut to its throat and serving the carotid artery, serving to carotid artery here, from here. This is a carotid artery. We just have to cut the animal from here only, as per Quran and Sharif, and by trachea and also jugular veins. The slaughter must be carried out with the use of the razor sharp knife to ensure the quick death and that the animal dies as quickly as possible. The animal must hang upside down in order to allow all the blood to drain. Animals should be hang upside down in order to drain all the blood from the particular animal. Type of halal food. What kind of halal foods? In general consensus that everything is not prohibited is halal. And what take a look at the type of haram food is more detailed below. And also here we talked about the halal food, meat that slaughtered in the Islamic manner, meat which is slaughtered in an Islamic manner. The fish and other creature of the sea, they need not be slaughtered. The fish and other creatures, the fish and other creature of the seas, they need not be slaughtered. The fruit and vegetables, these all fruit and vegetables, the dairy product, and bearing the cheese made using non-halal rennet, the cheese also called non-halal. Type of haram food, meat that is not slaughtered according to the means these all are about the haram food. And let's talk about the type of haram food. The meat that is slaughtered according to the what kind of haram food, means haram food here said meat is slaughtered according to the method prescribed by Quran and Hadith. Alcohol, the pork and byproduct, the blood, the food may contain any contaminations or above the three gelatin made of from haram meat, cakes with alcohol. The list of the food are forbidden in Islam. These all foods are forbidden in Islam. The meat that has not slaughtered according to the method of prescribed by Quran and Hadith. Alcohol is prohibited. The Pakka Musalman, the true Musalman will never consume alcohol. The pork or pork byproduct, the pig product, the blood, he will never consume the blood. And the food may contain any combinations of the above the three gelatin made from the haram meat. The carnivorous animals, birds, animals that eat flesh, other animals and drink their blood. These all the things, carnivorous animals are not allowed to eat as per Quran and Sharif. Animals that have been dedicated or slaughtered in the name of anyone other than Allah. Animal birds that have been dedicated to idol. The animal birds that have died due to the natural cause. Animal birds that died due to strangulations. Animal birds that dig from the being bitten. The or birds that die falling down from the height. Animal birds that are killed and gored by the beast of prairie. The animals that lived on both land and water, such as a frog and salamander. Frog and salamanders are not able to kill. Is actually prohibited. So these all animals are prohibited as per Muslim or Islam as per Quran and Sharif. The list of the haram meat listed above follow as this guideline. Carnivorous animals will have non-halal meat or blood in the digestive systems, and also animal that have died from the various reasons described in the same list. So these all the animals are not allowed to be slaughtered. Not this kind of animals foods are not allowed. So this all about the haram food and halal food. So halal foods are not required. Halal food means about the carnivorous animals. If you are cutting the animal by throat without following the religious principle which are mentioned in Quran and Sharif, then these kind of food are known as a halal and also haram. Haram food is required. Haram food is food is permitted food, and halal food is forbidden food. So this I have listed and I have conducted the lecture. But the animal slaughter, the cow slaughters, the cow. Here cow slaughter is not allowed as per Quran and Sharif, because here mentioned this is actually loophole. People are following Quran and Sharif, not following Quran and Sharif, the instruction of the Prophet Allah. The animal which is dear to Lord or the idol, these kind of animal are not able to be killed. So if they are killing the cow, it's a totally wrong. This is totally wrong. Killing of the cow is totally wrong as per Quran and Sharif, because it has mentioned, it has considered as a halal food. So halal is something like cutting by throat very slowly, giving a too much pain. So this kind of food is not be to be allowed. So I hope you all can understand. If having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Khuda Hafiz, take care. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.